But on the flip side, now OKC is without not only Jalen Williams, but A.J. Mitchell was out. We'll see if he comes back. But it's a calf strain, so we know about those. OKC, I don't think, can win the series without one of those two guys, whether it's Jalen or A.J. Mitchell. We talk about their depth, and it is great. And even though San Antonio has depth, it's not equal to OKC's depth. But that depth is being challenged. Now you got two of your top perimeter guys out. Jalen Williams, your second best player, and Chet Holmgren, who we'll get to a little later, is not living up to the billing. He's not playing nearly as well as he did in the regular season. He's supposed to be their second guy when Shea is out. So bottom line is I feel like the Spurs, you might be right. I picked the Spurs in 6. Still obviously a chance of that. You might be right. It might be 7, and we'll see. But the Spurs, I think, they have the best player in the series. I think we all agree with that.
Right now, that is undeniable.
Yeah,
and it's weird to say
question.
Since the 2-time MVPs on the other team, but he is the best player and the most impactful player.
Yeah. Yes,
that
absolutely.
is undeniable. Go ahead.
And not only is he the best player, but he's playing like the best
Correct.
player. Look at this graphic. These are Wemby and Shea's stats compared for the series compared to what they did in the regular season. You see Shea's points are down like 8. His field goal percentage is way down. He was 55%. That's what everybody was shouting about. That's way down. 3-point percentage way down. Assists are up, good for him because they're loading up on him. But Wemby's up everywhere. Blocks, he's only at 3.0. He was at 3.1 for the regular season. He's up everywhere. And so the younger guy, the younger, more inexperienced guy, at least thus far, has been better. And I do think he's going to lead them. And obviously, they're the healthier team right now, at least. So I think he's going to lead them to victory. Whether I'm going to still stick with 6, but it could be 7.
So I like a lot of what you said. Before I even give my answer, I want to ask you one question about OKC's health. I'm sorry, San Antonio's health. Fox and Harper are playing. They're not right, though.
Banged up,
and so, it's really, Fox can have a real impact banged up just because he's not turning the ball over. And then Castle's not turning the ball over, even if Fox is not as lightning quick as he typically is. Harper, though, has looked like a shell of himself the 2 games post-injury. So it's good to have him out there, but I do wonder how likely it is he gets back to what we saw. Game 1, it was like, oh, my God.
Right.
The reason I like the question and I like your answer is because whenever we do a Monday show and there were games Friday and Sunday, I always feel a little silly if the tenor of the show would have been drastically different if the results of the games were the exact same, but we flipped the order.
Sure.
And I feel like if the way the Spurs won yesterday was they won in Game 3, and the way the Thunder won in Game 3 was last night, where they spot the Spurs 15-0 to start the game and then outscore them 123-93 the rest of the way, I think that there's a lot of sky is falling OKC going on today that I don't think is accurate. I said on Friday, I think Thursday or Friday, that this series is going to be tied every chance it can be tied. And I think it is leaning heavily that way. With that said, while I picked OKC, even though I'm rooting for San Antonio, what they did against Shea in Game 4 is an interesting wrinkle, particularly as long as OKC is as banged up as they are. Not doubling him, daring Shea to beat them, not leaving guys wide open, and knowing Shea's, there's a little kind of perimeter about 15 feet around the basket where he's not going to be able to go anyway because of Wemby, so it's less risky to guard him one-on-one.
Yeah, look, I get what Nick is saying about the whole swapping of who controls the games, and honestly, it's a really solid point. But the truth is that each team just sort of alternates being the one that's firmly in the driver's seat, right? And it's worked out perfectly that the winning team, and this isn't always how it goes, the winning team is totally in command. I think OKC, what was that, Friday against San Antonio? That was a dominant victory, right? No matter what the final score officially said, they dominated and dictated to San Antonio the entire game. They forced them into a style that didn't suit San Antonio at all. And then that script got completely flipped last night, where San Antonio absolutely dominated and controlled every facet of the game, leading to a huge, convincing win, right? 103-92, it wasn't even close. And here's what's really fascinating to me, when San Antonio is playing at their peak, is this what we're witnessing? Because I do think OKC was still trying to play their preferred style. It just wasn't good enough. Plain and simple. We're talking about Chet Holmgren. He's supposed to be the number 2 pick. He should be this or that. But he can't be the number 2 when he has to go up against the number 1. Number 2s look great when they don't have to face another number 2 or a number 1, but you have to go up against Wembanyama. So it's much harder for you to thrive in those circumstances. This is Victor Wembanyama. Before I go any further, please, San Antonio Spurs fans, don't forget to subscribe and watch the full-length video. When you do that, views go through the roof. Subscribers go through the roof. It's not about chasing views. It's not about chasing subscribers. It's about being able to create San Antonio Spurs content that people genuinely want to watch and discuss, so we can keep having the most unbiased, down-to-earth, honest conversations about the San Antonio Spurs. It really helps. It makes a huge difference. So please consider doing that. But here's the thing, the Spurs are learning. This is why I kept saying it, we learn, we win, we learn, we win. They are making adjustments. And they were slam dunk. I don't even mean to be that corny making a basketball point, but they were perfect adjustments heading into last night's game. Perfect. And considering all this about Wembanyama and what Bruce was saying, like, oh, you know, Wembanyama is at his best right now in a way that maybe SGA isn't, I don't even think we're truly seeing the best of Wembanyama because he's still playing in a way where I'm thinking, you're not quite there yet. I still want to see you lean into what you do best. So we're not even really witnessing Wembanyama at his immediate peak right now. We're seeing what his potential peak could look like someday because of some of the plays he's attempting. But we're not seeing the maximum version of Wembanyama at this moment. But what's great to see is that you also have Omion like Castle. Look at how he played in those first few games and look at how he played last night. Night and day. Night and day. He is filling his role as a Drew Holiday, as an Alex Caruso, as a Draymond Green. He's doing all the little things, all the hustle, the intensity, trying to make every possible play he can. And that, to me, was a standout game for Castle. I tried to go over clips in my post-game video last night, but the recording got a little messed up. So unfortunately, it didn't come out exactly how I wanted, but he was spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. And that matters tremendously. It's not just going to come down to Wembanyama versus SGA. I mean, just look at this. 24 points per game versus 30 points per game. The score wasn't a difference of 6 points, right? There are a lot of factors. Obviously, I know those players have different impacts beyond just their scoring, but you need everyone to rise to the occasion. And right now, OKC is not playing the best version of themselves. I'm going to make a separate OKC video, so I'll save that for later. But last night, San Antonio played as close to flawless basketball as you can possibly play. I don't think they did that in Game 1. They won, but I don't think they played that way. They didn't do that in Game 2 or Game 3. They did that in Game 4. They played flawless basketball. Flawless. I could maybe find one tiny thing to be slightly critical about, like, okay, I'd like you to do a bit more of this. Or that, but it was just flawless. That's just nitpicking. And so, yeah, you should feel more confident now. With that said, I still believe OKC has all that experience and talent that still makes this series brutally difficult. This isn't now San Antonio showing, hey, we're the best team. We're the top team. This is what it really looks like. We're just going to win the next 2 games and be done with it. Don't fall into that trap, because that's what a lot of people fell into after Friday. Really, after OKC just won their first game and then the next game, people were saying, okay, now it's over. Now it's done. You had folks saying, let's be serious here. If one guy doesn't hit that one shot, the series is 3-0. And now it's 2-2. And it's like Wembanyama hit a 3. He didn't hit a buzzer beater from half court or from the other side of the floor. What are you talking about? It was a 3. He hit it. He tied the game. He's a superstar. I don't know what to tell you. That's how basketball works. It's not like he hit the half-court buzzer beater he made last night. But even I'm getting trolled in the comments section. You've got people like, we learn, we win. How's that going for you now? Pretty good. They're 2-2. They handed OKC 2 losses when this team hadn't lost since last season's playoffs in 2025. So, yeah, pretty good. This is what San Antonio has been able to deliver. And it's incredibly impressive. Incredi. Bly impressive. And they still have to continue to learn and grow and show who they are. They absolutely do. Absolutely. So this has been such an unbelievable series. Especially because, for me, I get so much joy out of watching a team. Look, there are 2 things I really enjoy. Watching a team be at their absolute best and at their peak. I just think that's beautiful. That's why I don't hate on OKC when they're playing their best, or San Antonio for that matter. But I also absolutely love watching a team grow and evolve right before our eyes. And that's what San Antonio has done throughout the entire playoffs, from the very beginning, from Game 1. Just go back and watch that Game 1 with Victor Wembanyama. The way he was playing, the way everything was so sped up and intense, it felt like they were playing on Mars. Everything was just so different. And now here they are, 2-2. People were talking about when Wemby went down, oh my god, the Spurs could be down 3-1 against Portland right now. Oh my gosh, what's going to happen? And they're 2-2 in the Western Conference Finals. Crazy how that works, right? So, to me, the only way I feel less confident or worried about San Antonio is if I don't see this version of them in the next game. That makes me concerned, right? Even if they lose, but I see them playing in the way that maximizes their potential, that should still make you feel better. It should make you feel better seeing that than watching them play poorly but getting away with it and stealing a win. Now, obviously you want to be ahead, because again, this is what I said in my post-game clip. When I try to have these conversations, I'm looking beyond the series record, because obviously you have to win. If you're up 3-2, that's better than being down 3-2, right? We know all that. We know all that. It's a given. You want to win this game, then you're in San Antonio, you win, and so on. That's all a given. But I try to look beyond that when we're actually trying to figure out the quality of play, the development of play. And I will say this, though, to kind of contradict myself, and I'll end here. I do think Game 5 is way more crucial for San Antonio. Way more crucial for them to win, go up 3-2, and then give themselves room for another loss. I think it's safer to say that OKC has earned the right to be more resilient, to have to win 2 games without a loss, whereas San Antonio just isn't quite there yet, or they haven't shown it yet. And for their sake, you hope they don't have to prove it. But I just think Game 5 is crucial. I think it's almost like having a first-round bye in the NFL or having something like home field advantage for a playoff game. It just matters more for this younger team. It matters more to me for San Antonio than it would for, say, the Kansas City Chiefs or something, right? And that's how I'm looking at Game 5, as absolutely pivotal. Game 5 could be the difference between winning the series at all. Or not, right then and there. And again, I don't get too hung up on the stats that say the team to go up 2-1 wins 75% of the time, or the team that wins Game 5 to go up 3-2 wins the series 76% of the time. I don't get lost in any of that nonsense. I really don't, because all that math is always skewed for so many different reasons. It's not inaccurate, but I think it can be incredibly misleading. But considering where this Spurs team is right now, Game 5 is absolutely, positively crucial. Absolutely, positively crucial. Because if they win Game 5, I love their chances of being able to win one of the next 2 games. If they lose Game 5, then they have to put together 2 great games with 0 margin for error, right? You can't have Wemby not get going until the second or third quarter. You can't weather the storm of SGA starting hot, scoring 10 straight points, getting to the line. It's just different. It's just different. So Game 5 is like Game 7 at this point. And they're on the road. So the lessons they learned in Game 4, can they continue to apply them? But also remember, OKC is a great team. They're well coached, they know what they're doing. What changes does OKC make now? What adjustments do they make? That'll be a big one, too. And again, they're at home. They'll probably shoot better. Role players always play better at home. So we will see. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about San Antonio? Do you have more or less confidence in the San Antonio Spurs? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get some discussions going, get some arguments going, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. Please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you be part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing that. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.